So I'm gonna, how you guys doing? I'm about to change the tire on my RIO Mobility Firefly, and so I'm gonna record everything I'm doing right now and show you guys how I do it here at my house for replacing the tire. Save yourself some money. So a couple tools that I'm gonna have are 17mm wrenches. You're gonna need a pair of wire cutters, but the only reason you're going to use those are going to be for cutting off the zip ties that you use to hold all the cables in place. So I'm going to start by removing those right now. So you'll see that there's that small one right up front here next to where the wires actually go into the motor, and that's what this side is. We're going to remove that right now. And then the next one is going to be this one here, and that actually holds the two pieces together that are the plug for the front hub motor. And so I'm going to disconnect the wires here. Now when you disconnect this, I know that it's probably hard to see, but what you're going to look for is there's an arrow right here, and then there's an arrow right here. You can maybe make it out, the arrow. And then there's one here. You want to make sure that you line those back up. Here's the other arrow right here. It's really kind of hard to see, but you want to make sure when you put this back together, those arrows are pointed at each other so that you get it connected right, so that the actual motor will work. If not, you'll probably receive an error message on your front screen. All you need to do is, if you do get that error message, is just pull that apart and then try to find the arrows and put them back together in the right where they're pointing each other. So then the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the actual safety cover. This little rubber cover protects the threads, but also protects where the wires actually go into the hub motor. And then we're going to use a 17mm wrench, which is the side, and then you're going to loosen it up. Just a little tight little tug there, and then the same on this side. 17mm, we're going to put it on there, and then we're going to pull that up, loosen it, and so now we have the front tires loose. Make sure that your brakes are not applied when you do this, because the rotors up here, if you had it applied, won't release the actual wheel. It'll hold it in place. Sometimes it can be a little challenging to get it loose, so you kind of want to just give it a little help if you can, like so. And then on this side, if you can, a little tug as well. And now you'll see that I've removed the front motor assembly and tire from the Firefly. All right, so that's as far as the tools and the removal part of the tire assembly and motor assembly from the Firefly. Now, pardon my garage, but since my accident, it's been a little harder to get things put up where they used to be. So as you can see, I have my new tire here, and so I'm going to remove the tag for the new tire. And so the next step is we're going to remove the old tire. So a couple of things that, if you have them, it will help. If you don't have it, it's not that big a deal. So as you can see, if you're looking at what I have here in my hand, this is a valve stem remover. I put it on a nut just so that it keeps it a little larger and easier to find. So what you'll do there is, in this case, we'll remove the valve stem cap, and then what we'll do is we'll just put this valve stem remover in, and as you remove it, you'll start hearing the air dissipate from the tube. The reason you want to kind of, if you can, use a valve stem remover, because it allows all the air out of the tube. So now that we have the valve stem remover, and you'll see this is what the valve stem looks like, the actual stem insert. And so you want to just make sure that you safely put that away. Don't lose that, because that will really make it difficult for you to hold air in there, or you'll have to go and buy it from a local bike shop. The next thing you're going to want is some tire. These are tire remover tools. You can get them at a bike shop. I think I paid 15 or 10 bucks for these two, and you can get them in different styles and numbers. So they do make a 3 tire remover kit, 3-piece, and this happens to be just a 2-piece. And so I'm going to just move over here for you guys to see. And they'll come usually like that. They do snap together, okay? And so I'm going to now remove the tire from the rim. And so you just slide that in like so. And in some cases, because of the nature of this tire, I can almost just do it like I've just removed the tire from the rim on one side. Now remember, when you do this, you can only do this on one side because of the rotor. So when you remove the tire, you want to go there. Once you have the tire pulled up that way, all the way out like that, you want to remove the tube by pushing in on the valve stem, and then once it's released, you have now pulled it off. The next part would be remove the tire from the rim. Really simple. Once the tube and everything's out of the way, as you can see, I just not even really put any pressure on it and it came off. So that's off with the old and on with the new. Now, looking at the way your front end is, take a look at your tire. Most of the tires have drive directions. So there's an arrow on the tire that tells you what direction you want it to be in. So in this case, the rotor is going to be on, if looking down at it like I am, the rotor is the direction the drive's going to be. So you want to make sure that those tread and arrow point in that same direction. So we're going to put it on just like that. Alright, so now we're going to just put the one piece at a time. You're going to put the bottom side of the tire on to the rim. And usually, because this is a newer tire, it might take a little persuading to get it on, but as you can see, it's already on. So we have, so we have the tire on in the right direction is the drive, and now we're going to insert our tube again. So if you look down there, you'll be able to see where the valve stem is going to have to go through the rim. So in this case, you're going to push the valve stem back through the rim there, first thing. Alright, so as you can see, I have it there. And as you push that on there, some cases, you know, because these tubes have that elbow, they have to bend because of the way that how small the rim is. It does help by holding it in place, unlike your other rim tubes on your wheelchair, where if you do them yourself, it's always might be easier if you put the plastic cap on there while you do this part. This way the stem can't slide back through. Like I had mentioned, because this has that bend in it to allow it to be on such a small rim, it's usually pretty good that it doesn't go through. So now what I wanted, when you put the tire back on, you always want to seat the rim, seat the tire to the rim at the stem, because that, you don't want any pinches in that area. The tube is hard to repair if you need to detach it. And as you can see, as I worked it around, I now have the tire replaced on this, the drive directions